Prescott is a top-secret government-run school that raises orphan girls into killing machines. Their headmaster, Hardman, teaches them to have no attachments. This principle doesn't sit well with one of the top students, called 83. 83 wants to have a family so badly, and in addition, she is the best in all fields. This makes her being hated by her friends, especially 84. Her first mission is to take a briefcase from a man, and she gets it done perfectly within minutes. On her next mission, she takes some me time to gather intels on what normal girls do. Movies after movies, she becomes more immersed into teenage lifestyle. Knox is a smart woman who loves to take out Prescott agents. To catch her off guard, 83 pretends to be caught and takes out Knox's underlings. She launches a balloon and ties it to Knox before she knows it. Suddenly, a plane flies above them, seizing the rope and sending them both flying. Unfortunately, Knox still has a gun with her. She shoots at 83, making her fall into the river below. Knox is brought on board and meets Hardman. They chat for a while, as if they used to be close friends. Below, 83 survives the fall with no injuries. When she is about to answer Hardman's call, the thought of escaping Prescott crosses her mind. She dumps her radio, making her marked as inactive. 83 is finally freed from her prison to chase her dream as a normal teenage girl. To blur her past, she goes as an orphan named Megan Walsh and enrolls herself in a student exchange program. She picks out the Happy Larsons to be her host family. Arriving at Newton, USA, Megan is picked up by the Larsons. She awkwardly hugs the welcoming Mrs. Larson and her son Parker. Her daughter, Liz, on the other hand, is not so welcoming and keeps her distance. Arriving at home, Megan sees Mrs. Larson's warm gesture and is so grateful for it. Over the dinner, Megan immediately makes friends with Parker, who is obsessed with being a ninja. On the other hand, Liz is so hard to get through. She overdresses for her first day at high school. She immediately becomes the center of attention and bullied by the kids. Roger introduces himself to Megan and calms her down. Roger is attracted to Megan and he becomes the first person to be so kind towards her. Finally, the time comes for Megan. The school bully, Gooch, immediately humiliates her in front of the class, followed by the crowd. Luckily, the school star, Cash, comes to her rescue. He sings her a song and Megan immediately falls for his charming gaze. Megan then comes to her first in-class session. She sits beside Roger, her new friend. They immediately get close as they can relate to one another's puns. After the session ends, the teacher announces that tomorrow, the students will have to sit with their designated partners. Megan fixes her eyes on Cash. As Megan sees Cash going out of the room, Gooch comes to slap her cheeks, but she single-handedly takes him down. In the morning, Megan confidently sits beside Cash, but she ends up fighting over him with some girls. However, Cash is chosen to be the lab assistant by the teacher. After the session, the two girls inform Megan of an opening for the school's mascot. Megan knows from her research that the school mascot is only for losers, but the girls convince her anyway. After some home workout, Megan notices that she is being monitored by a mysterious van. The van even follows her to her school and makes her mind wander. The competition day finally arrives and Megan is in her Viking costume dancing to cheer. Suddenly, some masked men get out of the van and try to kidnap Megan. Despite being outnumbered, Megan easily defeats them one by one, thanks to her rigorous hand-to-hand combat training from Prescott. She even manages to throw her axe to a fleeing kidnapper. Turns out, they are students from a rival high school, and they try to kidnap Megan for tradition. Realizing that she has been fooled by the girls, she rushes out of the scene embarrassed. Roger chases after her and tries to comfort her, but the effort is unsuccessful. At home, Megan is frustrated due to her failure to act like a normal girl. She feels that high school is so much worse than her rigorous training. Mrs. Larson noticed the commotion and talks to her like a real parent would. She calms her down, saying that it's all a normal thing in high school, and Megan should just stay true to herself. Megan gets back to school with eyes fixated on her once more. However, this time, they are accompanied by hand claps and cheering shouts. Suddenly, Cash approaches Megan and invites her to a jamming session. She arrives early and Roger surprises her from behind. She accidentally takes him down until Roger suffocates. As they chat, Roger finds that Megan is weird when she is explaining some martial arts, but Roger accepts it with an honest smile and they continue to chat. Cash steals Megan from Roger and asks for her opinion on his new song. As Megan chats with Cash, she notices that she is not much of a fit with him, but still wants him. Seeing her reaction, Cash invites Megan to Gooch's party this weekend, to which she accepts excitedly. As she walks her way home, a car follows her from behind and she is caught off guard by the Prescott. She wakes up tied to a chair and meets Hardman for the first time in a while. Hardman accuses her of working for another organization and intends to squeeze the intel out of her. He injects her with truth serum. The serum confuses her senses and activates her emotion. With tears in her eyes, Megan confesses that she doesn't want to be an assassin and wants to be a normal girl. Hardman finally lets her go on one condition: that she bids her farewell to the Larsons and comes back to Prescott as 83. Megan is dropped off in a drunk state due to the serum. She confronts Liz, saying that Liz has been putting up a facade of being a tough, lonely girl. She advises her to pull back the veil and forge true connections with her peers, before finally passing out. The two girls arrive at Gooch's house. The party is totally crazy, with loud music and alcohol. 84, who is under the alias Heather, is also there to keep an eye on Megan and ruin her mood. Meanwhile, Liz enters a bathroom and meets a drunken Gooch. Gooch knows Liz's name and invites Liz to join the tequila together. Liz opens up to Gooch and joins him. Roger arrives at the party. Megan is kissing Cash and he sees it immediately, making him leave in tears. On her way to school, Megan is confronted by Hardman. He demands Megan's promise to get back to Prescott. He is concerned for Megan's safety, as Knox has escaped from the facility. Megan doesn't want to be a Prescott anymore, especially when things are getting sweet for her in high school. So, she insists on not going back. Hearing this, Hardman agrees, but promises that Megan will be on her own when Knox comes after her. Having missed the bus to school, Megan drives with Liz in her car. They finally have a more sibling-like relationship, talking to one another without gaps. An unknown car drives beside them with guns shooting at them. Megan instantly takes the wheel while confessing to Liz. She tells Liz everything about her. Chaser is still on her tail and she meets a dead end. They continue to have a showdown and eventually get into accidents. Luckily, Megan and Liz survived the crash. Megan checks on the pursuer's car and can only smell Heather's perfume in it. At the hospital, Megan tells Hardman about Heather. Turns out, Hardman didn't send Heather. Hardman believes that Heather has died when Knox escaped. After connecting the dots, Megan realizes that Heather is working for Knox. After Liz wakes up, Megan apologizes for lying and putting her in danger. Megan wants to leave to get the Larsons out of danger's way. However, Liz doesn't want Megan to leave. When Megan is about to give up, she sees Parker's picture of her being a family with the Larsons. She hugs Parker and enthusiastically goes back to Liz, to find that Gooch is there with her. After completing the session, Liz goes outside and agrees to fight Knox together. Megan and Liz are picked up by their boys for the homecoming. As they arrive, Liz and Gooch are definitely enjoying their time. Megan and Cash, on the other hand, are a bit awkward without anything to say. Megan dumps Cash right before his concert and approaches Roger. She apologizes to Roger and affirms him that he is the person she wants. Unfortunately, Heather has worked her way to Roger and dates him. Without further ado, Megan incites a fight followed by continuous attacks from Heather. They get into a vicious fight, turning the party into chaos. While looking for Megan, Heather reveals that Knox is targeting the Larsons. When Heather is about to stab Megan, Liz stabs Heather's leg with a corn dog and Megan takes her out swiftly. They rush home and take a guard down. Megan enters the house while holding Knox at gunpoint. During the conversation, Knox reveals that she is the first Prescott. Another guard comes with Liz held hostage. Feeling pinched, Megan surrenders and drops her guns. Megan cunningly challenges Knox into a fair fight and they start right away. When Knox is about to get beaten up by Megan, Knox takes her gun out. Luckily, Parker blows a flashbang, giving a chance for the Prescotts to enter the house. They skillfully take out Knox's men one by one, and Hardman himself eventually captures Knox. Megan hugs Hardman for coming back for her. He also recruits Megan back to Prescott as a deep cover agent and lives with the Larsons. Roger has been picked up by his dad and is on their way home. Megan comes down with a helicopter, confessing to Roger and inviting him to another date. Roger accepts it and the two couples, along with Liz and Gooch, fly away with a smile. The end.